Hello, welcome to GoBanklessNow.com setup of the Ledger Live. All right, so one of the things that we're going to be doing is posting videos which allow people who are buying the various different types of storage devices to kind of walk through and see how it's done. Of course, there's some YouTubes and stuff like that, but I wanted to do my own because this is kind of supports the classes that we already do. All right, so I went online and I went to, as you can see, Amazon.com. Most of the things that you want, you can find there today. So I found the particular ledger that I wanted, and I ordered it, and it came within. I didn't express it, so it came within about 6 days. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this box, and let's see what's inside. Right. Okay, so here we go. This is what happens once you've ordered your ledger and it finally arrives at your house. It comes prepackaged with a lot of air on the inside. But this is what you want right here. Okay. So this is the Ledger Nano. Just gonna give it to you. Ledger Nano S Plus, which essentially is the most up-to-date ledger that they have. I think they have a Ledger X. I don't have that one. It's a little bit more expensive. Very, very small differences. You know, ultimately you're going to be doing the same thing. So let me go ahead and pop this open. I think I might need a little something sharp. Let me get something sharp. Got it. Here we go. Pop it open. And I wanted to do the setup from the box all the way through. Alright, so this is what we got here. Comes in a nice little case. And be sure, one of the key things is you want to make sure that you don't buy your ledger off a secondary market. Make sure you buy it directly from the manufacturer or through something like Amazon.com. I think you can get them through Walmart as well. I think Walmart may have them as well. But make sure you buy them through a reputable vendor, because it has been known that there's been some compromises and people have gotten ledgers that were altered that had been previously opened. So make sure you get it from the right place. Once you get it, find yourself some time and a quiet place to sit down, and you're going to have to be able to sit down and focus and not have anybody watch you looking over your shoulder. You know, try to do it in a private area. All right, so secret recovery sheet. So these days, can you read that? Secret recovery sheet. So these days they put this in it, and it allows you, it probably has something where you can write down all your recovery phrase. So what is this? Your Nano will generate, yes, your Nano will generate a unique list of 24 words. This is your secret recovery phrase, and your only way to recover your digital assets is if you lose your pen, if you lose or damage your Nano, or if you forget your pen. All right. So, first question: where'd everybody go? If you lose your Nano, do you lose all the money that's stored in the account? Now, I had to word that correctly. And the answer is no, you don't. And this is the beautiful part about it. First of all, there's no money stored in here. So you're not losing anything other than the device itself, which I'd advise you to not lose. So no one can get in it but you, unless they have either the PIN and the secret recovery phrase. And by the way, they actually have to be able to log into your actual account as well. So if they can't get into your account, then they can't take your crypto. So if you lose this, all you really need to do is get another one, or you can go on to your Ledger Live. So Ledger Live requires two things. First, you got to have the device. Second, you have to have it downloaded into your PC or into your smartphone. So if you're walking through this with me today, If you have your ledger in your hand and you're about to go ahead and walk through the setup process, make sure that you have already logged, downloaded Ledger Live application into your PC or into your smartphone. So I'm going to go ahead and pause for a second, let you go ahead and do that and check on that, and then we'll begin again. All right, so now we are opening up the product. Let's see if I can step back a little bit. And taking out a couple of items that are already in there other than the ledger itself. So this is what it's going to look like. This is going to be some included stuff that they give you, where you can write down the codes. You're going to need to, as you go forward, we're not there yet, but as we go forward, we're going to be making a 24-word entry key passcode. We're going to write it on here. So they gave, in mine, they included probably 3 so that you can make duplicates. Maybe you'll keep one. They all have to be absolutely safe places. Let's say you have a lot of money on your ledger that you're protecting, so in that case you may have to want to put one in your safety deposit, one in your home safe, and you have another one in case you need it for some particular reason. Maybe you'll reset the code. For some reason, usually the first code you start with is the code, but it can be that you maybe gave the code to somebody, and so for that reason, so whatever your reasons are, you have 3. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put these back inside. Next, we're going to want to power on the device. All right, so just kind of taking everything apart so that you can see for yourself, like pretty much the process itself, and that it comes with everything that you're going to need for the task. So what is this? Let's see. All right, so this is kind of going to be some of the guide information. You don't need anything besides Ledger Live for all your security purposes. Let's see. This is your get started. This is going to be your guide. So the truth is, you probably can just kind of do this by yourself, but kind of watching infomercials helps a little bit sometimes. Use care. Okay. They even give you a sticker. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to do 2 things. So by now we should have actually charged the device for at least 8 to 24 hours, because it may not be charged. And you're going to actually connect it to the computer. In addition, by now you want to have paused. I hope you have already paused the video. You downloaded the Ledger Live app to your PC or your handheld device. And this is, so it comes with a little keychain thing for the future when we're done. And this is the cable with which you will connect it to your PC after we have turned it on. Alright, so when you connect it to the PC, so it obviously doesn't use Wi-Fi, you literally have to connect it. If it did use Wi-Fi, that would be dangerous, because another person could pick it up and actually watch what you're doing or somehow grab your code from you. So this is a really necessary way to secure the information that you're going to be sending between the PC and the device. Let me make sure I got it on here right. Yeah, it just kind of just sticks in there. I mean, it doesn't lock or anything. That's it. So what gets people with this device is that it has these 2 buttons that drive people mad. So cool. But you know, just keep in mind that you reset a watch with 1 button. You program some items with just 1 button. Yeah, I know from the 80s everything used to have 1 single button. So I'm going to take this off for a second. All right, so if you had got this far, you should have already done 2 things. You should have downloaded the Ledger Live to your phone or your PC, because we're going to be turning those on. And you should have charged this device for 8 to 24 hours. Okay, So if you haven't done that, go ahead and pause the video right now and do that. And matter of fact, I think I'm gonna go charge mine up. All right, now once you got it charged up, you can go ahead and attach the cord to the Ledger, and you're gonna attach this to your PC. Now, if your PC is like my PC, I have a this is a Dell, so it only has this type of a connection. So you may need an adapter. Maybe you have one. You're gonna need an adapter. This is an adapter. That way, this piece can go into here. Now, if you have this type of portal, regular USB portal, then you're gonna be perfectly fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and get mine just like that. And I've already downloaded the app into my PC. It's much easier to do this on your PC and your phone, but if you have a phone, that's okay. That's all you have. But if you have a PC, use the PC. Use the PC. Once you plug this in, it's going to automatically start booting it up. This is going to come on. It says, you're not going to be able to read it too well, but it's going to basically says, welcome to Ledger Nano S Plus. Press the right button to continue. So I'm going to press the right button. It says download Ledger Live at ledger.com. Start, then press right. Alright, so now we should have already done that. This is the point where you're going to stop, and you're going to go ahead and start activating that on your own PC. Okay, so by now you should have already downloaded the app, and you have your Ledger plugged in fully to your PC and to your device. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift for a moment and show you. We're going to go online, and so the first thing that you're going to have is it's going to say, kind of give you some instructions as you go. Let's see here. I'm going to be wanting to press the right button, and you're going to be able to flip through and follow step by step. And I'm going to read these, but I'm going to switch the screen in a moment. We're just going to be reading it from the screen and kind of walking through with Ledger itself. You're just going to be pressing this button to go forward and this other button to go backwards, and you're only going to go so far before it finally gets to the plus sign. So that's a little plus sign. Excuse me. Set up new device. Set up as new. It's going to get to this. It's going to say set up as new device. So let me show you. Let me switch screens on this. All right, so now what we're doing, you can see my screen. You're going to watch me go ahead and initiate the Ledger Live app. Assuming you don't have all these icons on your screen, we do want to make sure you have this one app right here. And so this is what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and log in there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and let that open up. Give it a couple of seconds. You know, computer has to think. And so what two things should be done have occurred by now. One is you're going to want to make sure that you're plugged into your physical Ledger device, and the other is that you have logged on, and you should be able to see what I see. Ledger Live, you see the app and this nice little graphic illustration. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the get started. No device, buy a Ledger. We don't need that, so let's go to get started. All right, and we're going to choose the Ledger that we have. So I have let me look at the box just to make sure, the Nano S Plus. All right. First time using your Nano S, or you already have a recovery phase. So this is our first time. We're going to be starting from point A. Let's go ahead and start up a new Nano S Plus. Let's set up your device. Access your crypto. So this brings us to the second point. Your crypto assets are stored on the blockchain. You need a private key to access and manage them. So that's what this Nano is for. Continue. So this kind of just educating us about, own your private key. It's explaining what we're doing with the process. So that's all. So you might want to just read these instructions. Own your private key. Your private key is stored within your Nano. You must be the only one to own it, to be in control of your money. Stay offline. So your Nano works as a cold storage wallet. This means that it never exposes your private key online, even when using the app. Validate transactions. So Ledger Live allows you to buy, sell, manage, exchange, and earn crypto while remaining protected. So you will validate every crypto transaction with your Nano. Let's set up your Nano. Well, let me show you one thing before we go forward. You see how it has a phone there? So you guys could really, we could all store our crypto on our phone if we wanted to, but there's obvious problems. You may lose your phone. Someone may get into your phone. And if you lose your phone, well, then you'll lose all the data and access to your accounts, and you're going to have some problems with that. So you don't want to store anything really within your phone or within centralized exchanges. Other than storing it on your phone or in your browser, if you store it in a browser, it's online. And if you, other than that, you're storing it in some kind of custody account with the company, where we're trying to get away from that. We're trying to get away from banks and third-party custody. Now let's set up your Nano. So we'll start by setting up your Nano security. Let's do this. Yeah, all right. So the best way to get you started, here's some basic instructions. Obviously, this is going to take a little bit of time, so make sure that you have a time slot of at least 30 minutes before you begin. You're going to need a pen because you're going to be writing down some words. You're going to have a 24-word code that we talked about earlier in this video, and you might want to be alone and to yourself. For one, it's focus, but also it's a security issue. You want to make sure that you're not sitting in Starbucks where someone's sitting behind you looking over your shoulder or anything like that. Let's go forward. Okay, I'm ready. So the best way to get you started, turn on your Nano. Now, we may have already done that for those of us who've been following these. If you've been following me, you already have it actually probably turned on and maybe even plugged into your computer. So turn it on, browse, learn how to interact with your device. So now you should have clicked download ledgerlive.com/start, then press the right button. So you use buttons to navigate menus and lists. All right. So as you can see over here on the left, they're kind of giving you an example of what you're going to be looking at. All right, so now what we're doing here is we're choosing our PIN code. We should have, which you can't really see this. It's all kind of like blurry here. It's actually pretty hard to record light sometimes. So it actually says choose your PIN code. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually going through and selecting the process of how to choose the PIN code. And with so facing you, it's going to be your right hand, not my right, your right hand. And you're going to start you're going to need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 digit PIN code. I already know what mine's going to be. So you choose a digit. Double click. Once you get the number that you're choosing, let's say your number is 5, you double click, pow, with 2 fingers, just like this, together, and it's going to move to the next digit. Go ahead and select that one with 1 finger, double click to enter, to select it, so on and so forth. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm choosing my second number. I'm not going to say it out loud. Double click, enter. Now I'm choosing my third number. Double click. Now I'm choosing my fourth number. Double click. Now I'm choosing my fifth number. double click. I hope you can do a little faster than me. Now, what do you do if you make a mistake? So if you make a mistake and you got to back up, notice that when you're rotating them, there's actually a couple of other icons, not just numbers come up, but there's a little check and then there's a X. So you're going to use that X and you're going to double click that X and it's going to take you back, and then you can delete all the letters, all the numbers that you've chosen so far. Like I just deleted them all again, and now I'm going to reinsert them. So just do that and we'll get it through. Okay, now once you've selected it the first time, you got it in there, it's going to be 8 digits, whatever those are. Then it's going to ask you to confirm, and you're going to have to repeat the process. So now I punched them in the first time, and now I'm going to confirm. So just using these two fingers, you go back and forth, select your number. Mine is, not going to say, chose my number, double click. Choosing my number, one goes up, one goes down. Double click, double click, double click. Double click. Once you get that number, almost there. Take your time, don't be in a rush. And got that last one. Once you've confirmed it, it's time to move on. Great job. We're going to now work on our write down your recovery phrase, which it should say write down your recovery phrase on your Nano. So let's move on to go ahead and get that little paper out. Get a pen if you don't have one already. Okay, so we should now be at the point of it. I just have my pen, writing down, it should say right here, write down your recovery phrase. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to begin pressing the button. As we get the word, we're going to write it down right next to. All right. So, okay. So as we get the word, we're going to write it down. It's kind of bright. So it says 1, 2. Write 1 next to 1, number 2 next to 2, 3 next to 3, so on and so forth. Write them correctly. It's probably not case sensitive. It doesn't deal with case, but you just got to get the spelling correct and in the correct order. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So I'm going to do this while we're recording. Let's see. So I got my device. Pretend you're me. Let's go ahead and double click. Your device, so we double clicked and now it says your device will generate 24 words. They are your recovery phrase. Let's do it. Double click. Oh, forward. Move forward, not double click. Move forward with your right. It is your only backup to restore your accounts if needed. Move forward. Write it down in your recovery sheet in the correct order. All right, so I'm reading it from here. That's what yours should be saying. You should be saying exactly what mine says. Move forward. Press both buttons to continue. Now it's time, y'all. All right, here it goes. 1, 2. First word, word number 1. All right, so I'm now continuing to write down. I'm barely on word number 19, but I'm just kind of clicking in so you can see essentially this is how it's done. You know, you gotta look, write that word next to the correct number, push it forward, sorry. Forward, I'm on number 21. Push it forward. Push it forward. And number 24. All right. 24 words. Gotta have it, okay? fill out your little form. I can't show you mine. I filled mine out. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and move forward. Prompt it to go forward. And the screen is going to say, press left to verify your 24 words. Press both buttons to continue. This will be left. And now we're going to go back through and verify each word. So I'm not going to speak them, but I'm reading them through. I'm number 24, correct. 23, correct. 22, correct. 21, correct. 20, correct. 19. All right. And finally, number 1. So I hope you've gotten through to this point. If so, give yourself a round of applause. Don't stop. Just keep going. It's a joke. All right. So here we go. So now, once you've done that last one, double click. Uh-oh. All right. Everything's verified. Let me scroll back to the front. Now I'm going to scroll all the way back to 24. Press both buttons to continue. Here it goes, y'all. Now it's asking for us to confirm our recovery phrase. Confirm word number 1. And yeah, it may be a little repetitive, but remember, everybody, this is how you're going to access your crypto. This is the key code here. So they're being very careful to make sure they're walking you through and you're writing all the words down correctly and accurately the first time. So that's why they said you need about 30 minutes of time to focus. All right, so I'm just going through and I'm confirming my words. Number 1, number 2. Okay, so now by confirm, now you're going to be scrolling through all these random words, and you're going to select the word number 1. So my let's say my word number 1 is dog. So now I'm actually scrolling through all of them, and I'm looking for the word dog. There it is, and I found it. Double clicked it. Then it's going to go to number 2. You're going to scroll through some words. You find it. Double click it. Number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, so if you're following along by now, you should have confirmed probably all 24 words. I'm on my last 3. I'm finding the word, I'm scrolling through, and once I find, so I'm on my word number 21, and I'm looking for the word I can't say. I find it, double click it, it goes to number 22, gives me some selections. I'm looking for the word I can't say, but I find it, I double click it. Now it gives me number 23. I'm looking for the word I can't say. I find it. I double click it. And number 24. It actually offered it to me the first time. Double click it. Your recovery phrase is set. Keep it in a secure place. So look, we have it written down. We have our PIN code. We've gone a long ways. We've installed the app, we've connected it to our PC, we have our PIN code, we have our 24-word phrase written down, and you're going to want to make sure that you take this. If you need a copy it. If you have a partner or somebody that's going to also, you want to have access. Ideally, you really just want one person, but if you guys are, you may be a couple and you guys are putting your savings in or something like that, perfectly fine. You'll have 2 of these. They need to have theirs as secure as yours. Remember, every time that this gets out, the potential that someone can access your crypto is there. So, okay, so it should say your recovery phrase is set, keep it in a safe place, and it should have a little arrow prompting you to click the right button. Your right, not my right. If lost, stolen, or forgotten, all your assets will be immediately lost. That's right. The crypto gods will know you lost it, and they're going to know. Actually, the potential, meaning that someone can potentially break into your PC. They don't have to have this to get in. They can go through your app. So just be aware of this. Because remember what I said. Remember I said if you lose this, you can still have access to your crypto, right? How? By accessing your app through your PC and logging on. and you just get another one of these. So this contains the keys, and it holds the keys offline. Let's go forward. Now, if you don't know what crypto keys are, you're gonna need to look at one of the other infomercials on my website or on YouTube. Here we go. Prompt it. Never share it with anyone. Ledger Live will never ask you for it. Press both buttons to continue. It should say processing. Once it's done processing, it should have a little check at the top. You know, you can barely see mine, but we're just walking through it. So you kind of get the idea, and that says your device is ready. All right, give yourself a hand. You've accomplished something today. Let's go ahead and prompt it to go forward. Go to the dashboard. Now let's go back to the screen, and let's continue walking through, and I'm gonna show you my screen. All right, so we are already should be logged into our Ledger Live. Here it is, and we're going to now go ahead and just walk through the way to get you started. So you should have your Ledger already turned on, and you have the two buttons to which you can browse. You're going to be scrolling to set up as new device, and let's go to the next step. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is enter the PIN code. Your PIN code is the first layer of security. It physically secures access to your private key and your Nano. So your PIN code must be 4 digits to 8 digits long. And this is going to be where you're going to have to write this down in a moment. Click the button. I understand I must choose my PIN code myself and keep it private. Set up PIN code. Let's do it. Choose a PIN code. Press the left or right button to change the digits. Press both buttons to validate a digit. Select the checkbox to confirm your PIN code. Select X to erase. Set up as new device. Choose PIN code. So in order to access now on the setup as new device, you're going to need to double click it. Put 2 fingers on 2 buttons and press them both down at the same time. Choose, and it's going to go to a little lock that says choose PIN with 4 to 8 digits. Double click it again, and let's start typing in let's start choosing our PIN. All right, so now we have chosen our PIN, and choose your PIN code, confirm your PIN code. Once you've confirmed the PIN code, let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Secure your PIN code. So let me just read this real quick. Secure your PIN code. During the setup process, you'll choose your PIN code. Always choose a PIN code yourself. Always enter your PIN code somewhere out of sight. Always, you can change your PIN code if needed. There are 3 wrong PIN code entries in a row that will, or excuse me, 3 wrong PIN code entries in a row will restart the device. Never use an easy PIN code like 00000, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Never share your PIN code with someone else, not even with Ledger. All right, so those are just the basic instructions that you're going to need to look at. Let's go ahead and get started. Now let's move on to our recovery phrase. So your recovery phrase is a secret list of 24 words that backs up your private keys. Your Nano generates a unique recovery phrase. Ledger does not keep a copy of it, so nobody has this recovery phrase that you're about to write down. So I'm going to go ahead and check this box. You're going to want to check this as well if you're following along. I understand that if I lose this recovery phrase, I will not be able to access my crypto in case I lose access to my Nano. All right, let's move forward. Recovery phrase. It's time. Recovery phrase. So take out your recovery sheet, grab a blank recovery sheet included in your Nano, and let Nano know if you didn't receive one in your package. Write down 24 words. Write down the word next to number 1 for the first word, the word next to number 2. Let's see. Write down number 1 displayed on your Nano in position 1 of your recovery sheet. Then press right on your Nano to display word number 2. Write it down. Then press right again. Repeat this process for all the words while carefully respecting the order and the spelling. Make sure you put them as they come through. Press left on your Nano to check for any mistakes. All right, y'all. Take your time. Do it one at a time. Let's get started. All right, so by now you should have done several things. You should have created the PIN code. You should have created and confirmed your 24-word passkey. And you should have written it down, and you should have be ready to go to the dashboard on your Ledger Live if you're following along. Let's go ahead and go to the next step. Recovery phrase. Confirm your recovery phrase. Repeat it for all words. So we should have already done that by now. If you're watching it, following along with us, then you've already done this. How does a recovery phrase work? So let's get some info here. Your recovery phrase works like a unique master key. Your Ledger device uses it to calculate private keys for every crypto asset that you own. To restore access to your crypto, any wallet can calculate the same private keys from your recovery phrase. What happens if I lose access to my Nano? Don't worry. Follow these steps to restore access to your crypto. So we're not going to go there because we already know. That's actually a different infomercial. That's actually a different educational. Next step. Get started. Let's go to get started then. Hide your recovery phrase. Your recovery phrase is your last chance to access your crypto if you cannot use your Nano. You must keep it in a safe place. Enter these words on your hardware wallet only, not your computer or smartphone. Never share your 24 words with anyone, not even with Ledger. Well, of course, they'll know. Okay, I'm done. Where should I keep it? So these are just some suggestions for how to manage your recovery phrase. Never enter it on a computer, smartphone, or any other device. Don't take a picture of it. So that is part of the point of security. This has to be totally offline. That's why they sent you the paper, so you can store it on paper. Otherwise, if you put it online, then you have the potential that someone will find it. So never share your 24 words with anyone. Obviously, that is with the exception of the person whom you guys may actually have some, maybe your partner or spouse or something like that. For example, one of my business partners, she works with her son and they run the business. And so they both have actual access to that in that particular situation. So always store it in a secure place and out of sight. Ledger will never ask you for your recovery phrase. And if any person or application does ask for it, assume it is a scam. Okay, y'all? Just assume it's a scam. I have had it happen to me. Go ahead, press get started and move on. All right, so this is what your screen should be showing if you've been following along. Answer 3 simple questions to avoid common misconceptions about your hardware wallet. Let's take the quiz. You know what? Let's just go ahead and take the quiz just so you guys can kind of get an understanding. Let's see if you're fresh on your game. As a Ledger Nano user, my crypto is stored on my Nano or on the blockchain. The answer is on the blockchain. Your crypto is always stored on the blockchain. Your hardware wallet only holds your private keys, which gives you access to your crypto. Next question. If my recovery phrase is no longer secure or private, no problem. Ledger can send me a copy. My crypto is no longer safe and I need to transfer them to a secure place. Congrats. Anyone who knows your recovery phrase can steal your crypto assets. If you lose it, you must quickly transfer your crypto to a secure place. Next question. When I connect my Nano to the Ledger app, my private key is still offline, briefly connected to the internet. Let's go with still offline. Your private key always remains offline in your hardware wallet. Even when connected to your Nano, the Ledger app cannot access your private key. You must physically authorize every transaction on your device. All right. Already a pro, y'all. You're ready to safely manage your crypto. Only one quick step left. Click next step. Genuine check. We'll verify whether your Nano is genuine. This should be quick and easy. Check my Nano. All right, so now it's talking to your device. And you're going to allow it. It's asking you to allow that. So just what you see on the screen right here is what you should be seeing on your device. Go ahead and allow Nano. Good. Your Ledger Nano is genuine and ready to use with Ledger Live. Now mine says install app. All right, let's continue. Here we are. So this is what your Ledger face should look like, okay? And so it allows you to, and one of the reasons I made this infomercial is not just because it's so difficult, because it's really not quite that difficult to do this. But I have had a lot of people who really just couldn't get this far on their own. But also I wanted to kind of walk you through their application so you could get an understanding of what you got here. You actually don't have to go outside of Ledger Live to buy cryptocurrency. You can buy it right through Ledger Live. Now, where it says install app, it's actually referring to cryptocurrency itself. So how it says add an account to get started, buy and sell, swap, stake, grow. Here's the market. You can look at the market through your ledger. You don't have to necessarily go to Coinbase or any of the other. Here we go. So you can kind of get some statistics. Let's see how far they go. Do they actually give us, yeah, look, they kind of give us, you can look at the stats, the 24-hour action, price action. This is the 7-day. It doesn't give you a lot, but it just gives you the basics. You know, you can see what's going on with specific cryptocurrencies on whichever particular one that you like. Okay, so let's say, for instance, your crypto is in another place. So, for example, myself, I have some cryptocurrency on Coinbase, and I will be wanting to shift some of it. Update Ledger Live version 2.690 is available. Download update. So you're going to want to do that as well at some point. Okay, so I know you're like, okay, what next? What do I do now? So next, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to add the specific type of cryptocurrencies to your Ledger Live. So it doesn't come preloaded. It doesn't know which cryptos you want to buy, sell, and trade. So it doesn't come preloaded with anything. That's this button down here. So you're going to come down here to add account and go ahead and click that button, double click it, and this is what should pop up. Add accounts. So this becomes to be the more technical part, which is probably why you need to follow this infomercial, because this is where people have gotten, they weren't sure exactly where to go from here. So what we're essentially doing is so Bitcoin has a unique code, and we're installing the unique codes to each cryptocurrency so Ledger Live knows which ones we want. So let's go ahead and choose an asset. I definitely am going to want some Bitcoin. So in fact, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the main ones that I tend to hodl. So I choose the Bitcoin. There are other ones if you have, let's say you want Tether, XRP, Solana, Cardano, Dogecoin, Tron, Link, Polygon, Polkadot, Wrap BTC, Litecoin, Shiba Inu, BTC Cash, Leo Token, Stellar, True USD, Cosmos, OKB, Uniswap, Ethereum Classic, Crypto.org, Filecoin, Hedera, Binance. Pretty much they have all the cryptos that you could really think of. I'm sure there's some that they don't, and you may need to add those manually later on. But let's just stick with the basics here and load, at least in my case, our BTC. Press continue. So we select BTC, we press continue, and it takes us now to our device. So now you should be kind of looking at your device. It's talking, should be talking, and mine says loading, please wait. Has a little downloading icon. So we're in business, y'all. All right. Open app Bitcoin. Open the Bitcoin app on your device. That means double click. So use those two fingers, double click, and it should say Bitcoin is ready. Now, if you did like what I did and used one finger, it'll tell you the wrong thing. So make sure you go back, double click, and it says Bitcoin is ready. And now you can receive Bitcoin in your crypto wallet. This is your account. Add account. That just means that we're confirming that we are adding it, and this is the confirmation here. Your account has been added successfully. Add other accounts or return to your portfolio. Well, let's go ahead and add some more, while we're at it. Let's do some Ethereum, because that's the second one that I buy. But a lot of Ethereum. So at this point, any type of token that you're probably going to want, buy or trade, this is your opportunity to go ahead and do so. And we're going to go through and manually add each one of those. So I chose my Ethereum. Looking at my device now, it's sending me to the device. It's communicating. They're going to be communicating. All right, so now it's saying loading, please wait. So that's what should be having a load icon on your device, opening Ethereum app. Now remember, to open the app, you got to double click the both buttons with both fingers on top. Double click, boom, application is ready. Immediate. Okay, so what that means is, as you saw, I kind of skipped a step in the beginning, which was to update. This is why you have to always make sure you go ahead and click this Ledger Live update up top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now so that I can continue to add all the assets that I want. Now, you don't have to add them at once. You can come back later and add them as you choose. Let's see, update Nano firmware. Let's follow this icon here. Loading. Now I'm going to download the update. All the cryptocurrencies they often will create, these are just basically, these are programs, these are applications. So applications will often change, they'll improve it. And that's the reason why you're going to have to want to make a habit of downloading updates to your Nano device whenever you work with it. So as you can see, Bitcoin was installed. Ethereum was also successfully installed. We can go down here a little bit. So all these other ones will be homework if you want to install. Like for myself, I deal with, let's see which one. They even have Binance capabilities. So I buy Solana, I buy Cardano, I buy Polygon Matic, I buy Avalanche, Stellar, I buy Chainlink. You know, so some of these you may work with, and some of them you may not. They may not have any relevance to you. But this is what you're working with right here. And as you see, the list is long and quite exhaustive. So with that, install now. Update is ready to install. Let me go ahead and do that. So if you're following along, you should be updating your app as well. And you're going to see some stuff like this. All right, so if this happens, just, be prepared to click yes. Go ahead and let the wizard set it up, completing Ledger Live. So it's done it that quick. It wasn't a whole lot, just a little bit of information. Open. Now we're still plugged in, so it should, there we go. This release includes minor bugs, fixes, security improvements. All right, click continue, and we're back on, everybody. Look, and now we have complete access. We can send, we can receive, we can earn. That's a new one. We can buy, we can sell, we can swap, we can refer friends, we can get a card. Yep, that's right, you can get your own card. Ledger recover, so that's in case you ever lose your ledger, and this is my ledger itself. So let's click my ledger real quick. Here's my ledger, and so my ledger has access to 2 tokens, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum. And look at all that space, everybody. Got a lot of space. We only have 2 apps, so we have a lot of space left inside the ledger. So with that, all right, so the next one will be to kind of help you guys to figure out how to get the money onto an exchange, or how to buy an exchange, and so that will be in our next educational. So thank you for hanging in there. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out. Our email is our website is www.gobanklessnow.com, or you can reach us at gobanklessnow@gmail.com. That's spelled GOBANKLESSNOW @gmail.com. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions and concerns. Thank you.